Alright, so this is pretty much today's our clan giveaway, and I'm doing giveaways right now, but I'm also doing a Hydroid test. I'm going to be testing Hydroid today to see how Hydroid works out. I've never actually done a Hydroid tank build, but I want to see how Hydroid operate as a tank Warframe. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to be doing today's giveaway to our clan members. So that's that. So first things first, I have to switch to weird build. I don't do builds a lot, but every now and again I do a couple of them. So, but before I even do a proper build, I do a test build. So this is a testing of Hydroid tank build. So see which works, which doesn't work, and how long he can last in a mission before he goes down, and how many revivals can he go through before he's completely depleted of revivals. So how long can he stay in a mission per revival? Alright, so since this is going to be mostly a tank build about his survivability, the type of weapon he used um, isn't a factor in this. Type of weapon and it isn't a factor whatsoever at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to only select one firing weapon and one melee weapon. Simply, actually, maybe I should just firing is necessary towards the survival of any warframe, as well as melee weapons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up fast firing weapon um, just for kicks. Pick any random weapon. It really doesn't matter. It's more about Hydroid's build. Alright, so I was just go to dojo. was just going to see how he could survive. It really doesn't matter the weapon type. Doesn't matter weapon type whatsoever at all. The only place to truly test his survival is either arena or moth in an actual survival mission, because part of the survival mission is activating survival pods. So how far can he go before he have to activate those survival pods? I think arena is the best place to test it, because arena you could die like almost instantaneously, and you can't use your I think you can't use your energy pads. You have to pick up energy that the game gives you in turns. Yeah, so I just gotta wait for him to show up, and then we could start a trade. Okay, prime flow. During this test, there's probably going to be a lot of members trying to um, ask me for stuff, because today is mainly the giveaway day. It's not really a test build day. I'm just doing the test build simply because I need something else to do while the giveaway is going on. So we're going to test this at Ratum Arena. We're going to test how much he could survive based on enemies that could kill him with just a couple of hits. In order for me to properly do that, though, I have to basically fashion him to be a war god. I don't know if having a lot of shields is good. Well, obviously having a lot of shields is not a good idea. But it would take him about a good 1,000 hits to take down the shield. And it does help to have a certain amount of well, duration is necessary to hook enemies within a certain area so that they don't kill you. How much duration I need is another story, though. Lure enemies into the area, then kill them. I guess, yeah. Since this is a test, anytime an enemy hits me really hard, it drains off a lot of it drains a lot of energy to do body repairs. So I have to be careful with that. Efficiency is important in this build because once you're given those little energy orbs, it's more about not having a large open space. Like prime flow wouldn't be good, but having efficiency would be good for consuming the energy and using it. Duration seemed to be far. Not exactly. Actually, you know what? This is a true test build for the Hydroid Warframe because he's not that good in fighting very strong enemies. Pilfering Swarm. So this is not about stealing from the enemy. This is more about how to restore health per each damage done from the enemy. It's probably not even about strength either. It's more about having more armor. And more health. Or this will give me more. And obviously they're going to do a lot of knockdowns, so Fortitude might shield recharge not down. Natural talent is obvious. In the last, I might have to change polarity from this one. Give this a form of hair to get him up to where he needs to get up to, so he can have enough um, for hair. But I had these two empty slots simply for umbras, so I could put umbras on there. Umbra fiber and umbra secrets. I mean, umbra fibers and umbra vitality. But now I think about it, I should have formatted to, I should have kept it the way it was before. I think this is fine. I don't need to fill a slot here. But yeah, this might actually be the reason why I put this here. NG return per every damage you hit. And then once I format this, I should be able to have enough to put streamline here to conserve energy. So I think that's what I was doing. That's what I originally did, and I kind of goofed and changed it up. That's what happened. So I should have kept it the way it was before. Wait, do I have an R formula on this Warframe? This Warframe doesn't have an R formula. Interesting. Never put one on Hydroid. I didn't realize that. So it's a good thing I did it anyway, because I had to give Hydroid an R formula. Let's see. So yeah, Hydroid needs to get an R formula. To be honest with you, Hydroid as a Warframe you only need to form like 5 times. I think I goofed and I tried to form it 2 more times. So the most Hydroid should be formed is like 5 times. No less than 5 times though. If you're forming Hydroid 4 times, it's bad because there are only 3 umbers. So if you form for 3 umbers for Hydroid, you'll still need extra format for any additional space for capacity, to give you more capacity. So 5 is about the minimum times you would form it for an umbra, because even if you form it 4 times, they still might be more capacity space needed for Hydroid, because there's a lot of capacity slots here, and you have to format the aura, then you have to format the exumus as well. So if you format the aura and you format the exumus, or you just format the aura and you format the 3 umbers, that's already 4. And then you could choose to either format the exumus or format a slot here. So by minimum, at minimum, Hydroid is a Warframe you format like 5 times. But I think honestly you would have to format him like 6. But you could get away with forming him 5 times. I don't see you form a Hydroid like 3 times and it works, because no matter how you look at it, most Warframes are only given 2 slots of a type free of charge for Prime, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So you have to think, even if you max out a Warframe for 30, to fill out those extra 8 slots, once the capacity is over, you might have to form it at least once or twice, past its original 2 free slots. And once those 2 free slots are filled up, you now have 4 slots of polarity. But then you have 4 additional slots left and 2 slots above here left, so that's 5, 6. So you might want to form it 1 more time just to get enough capacity to close out those last slots. But then that still leaves the one on aura on top. So that's what I'm saying. I frame like 3 times, and then it works for long-term survival. I believe this Warframe can be formed 4 times for long-term survival, but 5 is about the least I could see you form this Warframe. Like if you want 2 free slots available, you will need to form him 5 times. But if you want all your slots to have polarity, it would go beyond 5 times. But if you want 2 slots to be completely free and neutral, then at minimum you have it at 5 times. After you did 3 formulas plus an exumus awakening slot. So if you did 3 formulas for umbras, just to increase health, armor, and to increase strength. That's 3, and then the R will be 4, and then it's up to your discretion to format one more time here for any of these slots, which you'll probably have to do. So at minimum, this Warframe can only get to 4 slots, but I believe this Warframe should be anywhere from 5 to above with Forma for proficiency and efficiency towards long-term survival. If you don't have it at 5 and above in Forma, I don't see this Warframe surviving beyond a certain point. I believe at minimum for long-term survival, you should have this Warframe format at least 5 times, about 4 or 5 times, no less than 4 or 5 times for long survival. But I honestly believe it should be more than 5 times. In my opinion, it should be like 6 times at least for Warframe. I only goofed and I did it one less times, but I have 2 free slots here because I goofed and I made one of them free. Or I formatted more than 1 time or more than 2 times, and it's supposed to actually be 5. So all your slots will be filled if you format 5 times. So if you're knowing exactly what you're doing, I only goofed on it twice. So yeah, 3 times, I don't think you'll get far with 3 formas at all. Especially even if you're not going for an Umbra, even if you don't want to use your 3 slots for 3 Umbra formas, you still have to unlock your Exumus, which you'll have to forma once, and you'll still have to forma one of these slots in this at least another 1 time. And for just regular efficiency, standard battle from anywhere from 0 to 100. Now, once you go beyond 100, you'll then format a 3rd time because you need to survive long. But if you're talking about ridiculously long survival, I don't see you surviving long with just 3 formas and a Hydroid Warframe. You have to do anywhere from 4 to 5 formas at minimum for a long-term survival Warframe on Hydroid. So that said, I'm going to test this out. Honestly, this should be 5. But I only goof like probably once or twice on the Hydroid. Or maybe I just goof once and it actually does require 6 formas for a proper tank Hydroid. I don't know that yet, but I'll do it on a test run to see if that's the case. But I believe I'm right. 5 or 6 is probably the most appropriate number for long-term survival Hydroid fight against strong enemies beyond level 100. So I'll just level him up in Hydron, the location node called Hydron, and after he's leveled up, I'm simply going to test his build in a simulation and then on Ratum. Probably on Ratum first, then Sim second, and then Moth third. So this whole video is just going to be about Hydroid test builds. Or Hydroid testing.
The enemy is at our doorstep. You must defend our equipment until reinforcements arrive. The enemy is at our doorstep. You must defend our equipment until reinforcements arrive. Reinforcements are inbound. Hold the line. We're done here. The extraction team will take over from here. Time to evacuate.
You have loyalty issues, Taro. My Zanuka project will fix...
The enemy is at our doorstep. You must defend our equipment until reinforcements arrive. That's the last of them. Objective is secure. Let's go home.
All right. I should be not 30 yet. Alright, just one more and I should be 30. For this test, I have to be rank 30. So maybe just a regular mission. I'll test it on Ratum, I'll test it on Moth, and I'll test it in Archons. I'll test it in Ratum first. So after I level him up, I'll test his build for survival in Ratum first, which is actually very hard. Ratum is only made for people who are pros or who understand how the system of Warframe works after many gameplays. It's not something that you just do. You have to exactly know how your character will survive or what type of build is necessary for Ratum. All the enemies there are anywhere from level 80 to level 100 and above.
You found the first resource cache. I'm detecting 2 more faint hints. The relic has been cracked open. Finish your mission to find out what's inside. The reactor is going into stasis. Now is your chance to complete this sabotage. Use whatever you can to make sure it never works again. You found a second cache. My readings indicate one more. Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
Alright, so now we can begin. Or maybe we can't begin. I'll test it. If it requires just one more form to put in this slot right here, I'll have to do it. But we'll do the test right now since he's 30, and we'll test it on different missions. I'm not going to test it on sortie because if I do Archons, then that means I'm strong enough to do a sortie. If I could get him through an entire Archon by himself without going down once. So the first test is going to be with Ratoon. Natural talent is needed for this, otherwise this dude will die quick. Not sure if NG Siphon is a good idea. I'm gonna go with health, just to start off with. Rolling guard is necessary for those 3 seconds, I believe 3 to 4 seconds of survival. This is also necessary for giving me at least 400% more armor. This stacks. Natural talent allows me to do abilities faster. Coaction drift is going to double. No, at least give me 15% more strength towards health. So it'll be 100 with the efficiency as well. So it'll feel like 100% rather than 90%. Obviously, the vitality has to be in, and steel fibers have to be in for more armor. Continuity is simply going to be there to keep enemies at bay or longer duration. See, that's the one I'm not too sure about, if continuity should be selected, but I put it on there because you have corrosive effects on it, which I'll need to strip armor. Arcane Energize is going to be needed if I can't grab an Arcane. And Ultimatum is going to be needed because I'm definitely going to need more armor. This is Ratum we're talking about. This is going to be rough. Lots of dying. So now I can put on a weapon. I'm going to put on a strong weapon, fast firing weapon. The weapon I have that's strong enough at the moment that with a good rivet on it is the comb. And I can't have anything that fires too slow because these enemies hit extremely hard. Or anything that its recoil or its accuracy isn't on point. Or the damage isn't high enough. And Ratum enemies are all Grineer types, so something like this wouldn't work unless I fashioned it for pure toxic. But it doesn't have pure toxic, it has damn it. I need no matter how you see it, it's going to have a base radiation because this is a radiation weapon. Multiplier, status, more status. Firing. I'm going to go with firing rate. Damn corrosive, man. So weak. Type of damage it does is so weak. This weapon is not good for them either. It doesn't kill them fast enough. I need explosive damage on impact of their armor. Directly kill them straight out or critical damage. Critical puncture damage specifically. I think I might have to go with one of the guns. The gun blade. Not enough. Let's check out the gun blade. I mean, this will work perfectly, the axe. The gun blade is probably going to one-shot him, though. No. Gun blade. Alright. This is, no. Compared to this, it does more puncture. Multipliers, that. Status is terrible, but critical is great. Toxic is good. Blast, why do I have blast on it? Maybe corrosive. Prime Fever Strike is far more important. That's why It's only formed twice. So if I take this off, it'll only be at a 7. Damn. Alright, I'll have to try something. Speed, perhaps. No, killing blow. Or more multiplier. Still not enough. I can't go with this. It's not formed enough. Form account. Does less puncture. Really? Figure it would do more puncture than the axe. I mean, axe would do more puncture than that. None. Yeah, Hydroid though is good, and it does more crit. Okay. Don't want to get too close, but might have to. Toxic. All right. Gonna do with this test. I'm gonna see how he does in Ratum. Hopefully he doesn't die straight out. Hopefully he doesn't die straight out. Ratum is brutal. I believe most of, if not all, the enemies there are either 90 or level 100s, and they have a few enemies that are level 80s, but most of the enemies there are about level 100 and higher. And it's not even steel path. Now here's the thing. It says Rathum says level 80 enemies and up 80 to 85 enemies. That's not really true because I fought enemies that are tanky as hell, and it felt like they're level 100 enemies. So the standard enemies in here might be from level 80 to level 85, but I guarantee there's probably a level 100 enemies here, but maybe the level 80 to 85 are all special enemies that are super strong, that doesn't feel like they're level 80 to 85. or maybe they've always been that way, but there's always been like strong, or they multiply a lot. But I'm gonna check it out anyway, see how he survives Ratum. I know for a fact that the enemies there are base level 80 to about 90. Whether they're beyond level 100, that's a different story though.
Mess it up!
All right, so that's good. He could survive against um, these type of enemies pretty good. So that should be no problem. No problem whatsoever. Oh, my phone went out? Okay. Oh, it was at 1%. That's what happened. Okay. Alright, so that's a good test of Ratum. Level 80 to about level, I would say level 80 to about level 90 to about level 100 enemies. The longer you stay in the mission, the more enemies you kill, the stronger the enemies it's going to throw to you. So for like, I guess from the first 5 minutes, it's level 80 to 85. From the first 5 minutes, or the first 10 minutes is level 80 to 85. But as anyone who knows how endless of anything works in this game, it doesn't stay at where it stays at. It stays increasing. It doesn't stay exactly at a standard pace. It increases per each 5 waves, 5 rounds, 5 minutes, um, I guess 5, or even the amount of enemies that you're supposed to kill. So I believe Ratum, the arena, just like the index, is considered in the same manner. They're endless. However long you can go, the enemy gradually increase. That's why I said enemies in that arena can go anywhere from 80 all the way past 100, depending on how long you're staying there. Naturally, it wouldn't go past level 100 or even past level 90 if you're just staying there for about around rotation C for about 20-25 minutes, maybe even 30 minutes. But by the time you get to about 30 minutes past, it doesn't. The game doesn't for Ratum doesn't just give you the same standard strength enemies as you keep beating more enemies. It's slightly ups it, like everything in Warframe. It ups the amount of strength of the enemies that you're going to fight. It won't feel that way depending on your weapons and your Warframe and your mods. But after you've been in there for a while, the time. See, the thing is, if they don't up the enemies level, um, they up the time for which certain things are spawned. So I think that's what I'm confusing. Why sometimes I feel that the enemies are stronger or higher level, but the spawn of for them to give you things before you use them, or health, or energy, or ammunition, is slowly ticked away. So I think, yeah, I think I might be mistaken in that count that they are from level 80 to 85 enemies as a flat rate. But as you stay longer in the mission, it all depends on how you're modded, how you slowly regenerate health, because Warframe regenerate health and energy on their own, and how much of it is ticked away from the game for how long you can kill enemies. So that might be the thing I'm mistaking with. Um, but if that's not the case, then it definitely is. If that's not the case, it definitely is what I said it is, increasing enemy amount. So I'm gonna test. I mean, he works perfect in Rathum, so he's good there. For this mod he has on, he works perfect in Ratum. Um, he doesn't die. The rolling guard is what keeps him alive. Casting abilities is what keeps him alive, and the amount of health for armor is also what keeps him alive. It's not just steel fibers, but the health added to the armor that keeps him alive, as well as the arcane health towards armor that's increased as well. So he'll have a lot of armor added to him. If he didn't have arcane ultimatum on him, or if he didn't have health conversion on him, and it was solely dependent on roller guard, you would have to know exactly when to roll, and not to abuse rolling. But if you have these two on, then I guess you can abuse rolling to a certain amount, and you don't have to worry about getting one shot because you have double armor added towards your Warframe. So the enemies have to get past the armor before they could get to your health, or the enemy's toxic status has to burn past your armor before it burns past your base armor. So steel fiber is on top of your base armor. Health conversion is on top of your base armor, and arcane ultimatum is on top of your base armor. So first thing the enemy has to get past, it has to get past the health conversion. So it has to eat away at the health conversion that's adding health to the CL fibers or adding health to the base armor. So it has to eat past the steel fibers first, then it has to eat past the health conversion first, or health conversion first and steel fibers after, and then it gets to your base armor that you have on, which is probably like 200 armor or 150 armor, and then it goes directly to your health. But at the same time, while it's doing that, it's slowly taking a chunk of your health away. But if your armor is thick, the status effect won't take a lot from your health. But if the status effect that it casts on you is pretty beefy, it will go directly to your health rather than through your armor, depending on what it is, especially flame. Flame attacks will go directly to health, and chemical vitality attacks will go straight towards your health. So your health has to be up anyway, past a certain amount. So he can only go to like 850 to about maybe maybe to about 900. If I decide to put another health, like a health mod here for the slot and get rid of this, that will work out to my advantage. But the thing is, I'm thinking the enemies weren't stopped by his abilities because his abilities wasn't strong enough to stop them at base 100. So they weren't getting pulled by his abilities. So it might, I might actually have to keep this strength Hydroid here, because even though I cast the fourth ability on them, or the other abilities on them, some of them didn't move at all because it was at a base of 100. So I might need to at least get to 145 or to 150 in strength and test it again in Rathum. But that would require me to form this dude one more time so that my prime sure-footed could give me at least enough capacity slot to put it here. Because that's the problem that's going on right now. I only have one capacity slot, and I need at least 6 or 7 in order to fill out the slot with transient fortitude or with a prime continuity. No, not prime continuity. A blind rage, or if not a blind rage, a prime intensify. That's the word I'm trying to look for. Prime intensify. So yeah, I think I'll need to form him one more time. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll form him one more time. Then I'm going to test him in Archon. He works perfectly where he is right now with these mods in Ratum. I believe he'll work even better if I have a strength mod here for enemies that are beyond level 130 for Archons, because he's going to need more than level 100 strength for Archons. In fact, he needed more than level 100 strength for those Ratum guys that was level 80 to 85. So he might need just 50 more strength for Ratum, but he might actually need 200 strength for Archons. So I have to form him one more time. There's no doubt about it. I have to form him one more time. So like I said, at least at the base status, of this Warframe. The minimum you should give him is like 5 formas. I'm only giving him like 7 to 8 formas because I made a mistake twice before. So at minimum, I would say 5 formas is needed for enemies that are beyond level 100. If you have them at 3 formas in, I don't think you're going to go very far. I mean, if you really, really, really want to go at base level, it would have to be 4 formas. But yeah, I think it doesn't, even at 4, it doesn't make sense. I believe 5 is the smallest amount of number you could give to this guy. I would have him in my Warframe at 6 formas, but the basis of, that makes sense all around for this Warframe would be 5. Because if you form him with all 3 Umbras, and then you form him again for his aura, so you could use all different type of aura, that's already 4. But then you have to form him for another empty slot over here, so that's about 5. But let's say you don't want to farm him for all 3 auras. You want to farm him for the Exumas, and you want to farm him for the aura, and then you want to farm him for just one other thing here. That would make 3. But primes are usually given 2 school slots, or 2 power slots, or 2 representative polarity slots available to you, and the others are slots of polarity you have to create yourself with Forma. So 2 free given polarity won't be enough. In fact, even 2 additional polarity that you create yourself past the 2 polarity given to you won't be enough, because then you have to deal with 4 more empty slots. And let's say you form it 3 times for polarity slots, and then you leave the other 3 slots for Umbras. That's fine. So now you will still, yeah, it makes sense. You will still need a base 3 polarity slots that's been formed, and then polarity slots for your aura, and your Exumas are unlocked. Or this is formed aura forma, and this is Exumas forma. So yeah, both of these are unlocked, and you would need a base of 3 formas here. So it seemed like you would actually just need 3 formas, but you have to unlock this. So if you really want this Warframe to use all different formas, I mean, even if I'm really being nitpicky, I'm thinking about it, you would still have to have the base of 3 formas, and then you will still have to have just 1 additional forma added, just to juggle things around. So at minimum, what makes sense for survival with this character is 3. I mean 4. I don't see you progressing very far with just forming this Warframe 3 times. I have him at 8, but at minimum you could have him at 4. And standard at 5. So if you have this Warframe at 3 formas, I don't think you're going to get very far at all. Yeah, so moving on from that, now I have it format at 8, but it doesn't need to be formatted at 8. It could be formatted at 5. I'm going to do a mission now to level it up again. I'm going to keep quiet because the level up mission doesn't require me to speak on anything. It's quite fast, quite easy. And I do have 2 days and 22 hours affinity booster, so I don't have to worry about doing that mission for too long. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I only score up twice on the forma for this Warframe. So I mean, I only really score up twice on the forma for this Warframe. So I actually, now to think about it, this Warframe might require 6 formas for like very long-term survival. But you get away with 5 formas. Hell, you might be able to get away with 4, but you won't get away with 3. I'm 100% know that you won't get away with 3, because we're talking about to do all types of missions, not to do just one type of mission all types: survival, um, capture mission, assault missions, Archon missions, duration missions, um, and then your Warframe has to be able to withstand certain type of elements as well. So it's not just about the type of missions, but withstanding certain type of elemental effects as well, for survival. Like you would need a rolling guard, a slot for rolling guard, and you would need a slot for adaptation, and then you definitely need a slot for natural talent, which is a speed. Um, and if this Warframe base polarity given as a prime doesn't have a Naramon, you have to form it to have a Naramon to have natural talent. So this Warframe would need more than 3 formers. At least at base you would need 4. And as usual, when you do Hydron, you don't do it solo because you don't get affinity gain from other Warframe by doing it solo. If you're near a Warframe, other than your standard affinity you're getting for your Warframe and weapons, you get an affinity boost from fellow Warframes that are next to you. So that's still in the game. So that's why I never play Hydron on solo. I mean, you can to get in, get out, so you don't have to deal with more enemies, but you won't get that added boost of affinity. I guess you won't really need it if you have your affinity booster, but if you don't have an affinity booster, it's recommended to play Hydron for affinity with groups of people. If you don't have an affinity booster like me, I just do it to speed up the process even more. Don't know if the effect of my affinity booster and affinity emission will cross over, but I don't take my chances anyway. I just do it the standard way I usually do it.
That's the last of them. Objective is secure. Let's go home. The enemy is at our doorstep. You must defend our equipment until reinforcements arrive. done here. The extraction team will take over from here. Time to evacuate. Our position has been compromised. Defend the cargo until reinforcements arrive. We are readying reinforcements. Keep fighting, Tenno.
Why don't you do a sanctuary?
Yeah, not doing Sanctuary because Sanctuary doesn't level him up fast enough. So loud, even when I turn the volume down. Yeah, I know you're watching the video and everything, but the reason why I'm here is not part of the whole test build. So I test him in Arena. He did well in Arena, and I'm going to test it in, last test will be Archon, where the enemies are level 130. And I'm going to solo him in his first Archon mission and see how he does there. If he dies, even once, then that means the build is not that good. This dude is not like you know, his kit is not even though he's tankier than other frames, his kit is not his powers is not.
Why don't you do a sanctuary?
Yeah, I'll try Sanctuary and see how he does in the Sanctuary. I see how he does in the Sanctuary. I really want to see how he does in Archon though, if he's able to survive the Archon. But you have to be at level 30 to do the Archon, so I have to get him up to level 30 before I do Archon. So what I'll do is I'll do a Sanctuary. If he maxes out at 30 for doing just 10 minutes of Sanctuary, then he's 23 right now. So that means 10 minutes of Sanctuary would max him up. or maybe 5 minutes. If I do 5 minutes of Sanctuary, if he's maxed out at 5 minutes of Sanctuary, then that means he's pretty good. I mean, Sanctuary is
I
pretty
can
good for
help you
leveling.
max it out.
Well, if you want to join, sure. Just invite me at Sanctuary.
If I nuke you can steal my affinity.
Yeah, someone in the clan is asking for a giveaway. Check, check. Message of the day. You could nuke. You definitely can nuke. Just let me do this giveaway, and he'll probably be the last person. What time is it? Yeah, it's like 5 minutes left. He'll probably be the last person. Then I get rid of the giveaway. Um, I'll get rid of that, and then we could go and do the sanctuary. I'll even type specific things so if in case he's confused. Yeah, I figure he would be confused. Go to clan/communication. Not a lot of people understand how the options menus or the interface menus in Warframe works. It's the same with me with the Neverwinter. I'm trying to figure out how the interactions and how to use the menu system in Neverwinter effectively and better, and I could never get the hang of it. That's another reason why Warframe is pretty good. It lets you get a hang of it pretty quickly. So once he figured that out, then he can ask for whatever he wants, and then I'll give it to him. Because if he asks me to give him the giveaway prize um, while we're in mission, then I'll screw it all up. And then he'll probably log off, probably get pissed off. So I'll give him the item. Actually, I'll tell him the giveaway ends in 5 minutes. This guy wants to decorate. Okay. Um, Decoration.
Why don't you do a sanctuary? I can help you max it out. If I nuke you can steal my affinity.
Decoration is for I'm just gonna ignore the whole decoration thing. Um, I don't know how to even enter. Um, just ask. Just ask. Okay, so I'm gonna give this the gonna give him the Harrow, and hopefully there's no interruptions after that, so I could do the Sanctuary. But after I do Sanctuary, I'm going to test him on Archons. After I level him on Sanctuary, I'm going to test that Archon. I wait for him for about a minute or so. Um, then I'll. What's up with this? Okay. What the hell? Why is it saying? Why is it saying Neil? Specifically, okay, I know Neil came with Harrow. I swear I thought I had it. Alright, so All right, so I'll give him the BP, and so we could get on with it. Reason why it is, I don't want to go like past 4 hours today playing Warframe. I'm really into seeing where Dead Island 2 is. Um, this week has been pretty hectic. I played Warframe for probably about 3 times this week, maybe 2 times. I'm gonna play it again tomorrow. So I say about 2 times this week so far. If it wasn't for the anime stuff, I would have been on Warframe yesterday as well. Just had to make sure the anime stuff was good. I know people would put graveyards of the Fireflies or the Princess Kaguya in those one slots. But if you watch Graveyard of the Fireflies or Princess Kaguya, be like, those are depressing movies, um, depressing anime films. No way you could have enjoyment watching those over and over and over again. I don't know why Rotten Tomatoes have those in number 1, number 3 slots. It's a masterpiece with regards to storytelling from a filmmaker's point of view, but for overall, it's not meant for everybody. So why would you have something in the number 1 slot if it's not meant for everybody? Not good. Not good so whatsoever at all. So leaving Dojo, and we could do the Sanctuary now. So invite me for Sanctuary and we'll run the Sanctuary. All right. Yeah, super interesting of what's going on with Del Island too.
Update. Anybody being generous?
Your duty in this experiment is to dispatch as many specimens as efficiently as possible. When the time comes. I have opened a new data conduit. Proceed immediately. experiment moves to a new zone. With each data conduit jump, the experiment's design dictates increased efficiency. I trust you will be able to complete this study, Hunter?
Yeah, if you all want to leave after this, it's fine with me. Yeah, I'll just wait around until and not go through the portal.
A data conduit is open. Go now. Hurry, Hunter. The conduit is closing fast. Hunter, the sanctuary will go on without you.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my Archon, so that's it.
Enough.
Alright, so now it's time to test out. This is my boy in an Archon. Let's see. I'm not just gonna use the Hydroid. So, um, a lot of people don't know this who are first starting off Warframe. Whenever you level up anything, and you want to level it up fast, you just use one item. One weapon, one pistol, or one primary weapon, and a Warframe. You don't bring a lot of weapons to level up if you're trying to level one specific thing up. If you're trying to just level a weapon up, you just bring the weapon and Warframe up. If you're trying to level the Warframe up, you bring a Warframe and one weapon. Um, because what it is the game distributes affinity per the Warframe and different weapon types. So that's still the standard in the game. It's still there from since way back in the days, and thankfully they'll never change that. It's an easy way to max out a Warframe real quick if you just use just one weapon. So now that's done, I could finally put on. Hopefully this works. This guy ain't too strong, man. It's not too strong. Hydroid is pretty good, but his kit, I believe his kit needs to be reworked. Um, as a CC Warframe, a crowd control Warframe, um, his CC abilities, um, Tempest Barrage, it's rain. Basically, he shoots rain from the sky, and it goes in a 360-degree arc, but it's 360-degree arc in front of you. So it's not like it's 360-degree arc all around you. It's wherever you point to, it does a 360 in that area, like a huge bubble of nothing but rain in that area. It's good for when you want to run through an area and you want to stun enemies when you're trying to get to something. Not so good for when the enemies are all around you. So, like Xcal, its first ability is not that good, but it's only good for like frontal attacks. Second ability is probably the best one, in my opinion, or the second best one in my opinion, because if you're really taking a heavy damage, you could just get the hell out the way real quick at an extremely fast pace at an extremely long distance. Plus, it removes damage to your Warframe with regards to status effect and elemental buff effects or debuff effects on you. So you remove those debuffs as well as those status effects on you, while giving you enough time to at least regenerate your shields and your health in a couple of seconds. The third one, I would say, is the worst one, because this this ability has to be replaced. It really, you can't move around a lot using this ability, and the range for this ability is too limited, and some enemies get pulled on. This should have like a volt type of AoE effect. There shouldn't be some enemies that all enemies should be dragged in. Once they step, it should be like a pool of water or like an ocean. It doesn't matter. Hydroid should be able to turn the floor into water and everyone sink into the water regardless of who they are. But they haven't done anything about that. So his kit needs to be worked based on range, and based on enemy types. So far, the only really good thing about Hydroid is his second and his fourth. Um, every now and again, his one just stuns enemy, but his second and his fourth is his bread and butter. So he's about average Warframe at best, but how you tank him up is a different story. So I'm going to test his tank and see how he works in a solo Archon match. If he dies once, then I'll call it a day, and then I'll run some primary tests on myself, with this Archon on my own time, and then do a revamp, readjusted Hydroid. Um, so let's see how this goes. If he could beat the first mission by himself, then he could take probably the last mission by himself as well. If he could beat the first mission by himself without any assistance from other Warframes, then he could take all the others by himself as well. But you would probably have to shift around your mods for those missions. But actually, what type of mission is? What type of mission is this? Mobile defense. Excavation. So he sucks at he sucks at excavation. That won't work. Let's see how he does with mobile defense. I have a feeling it won't go good. If that's the case, then I might have to increase his distance and his strength that's a low. Yeah, with that strength level and that range level, it's not gonna go good. So this is a gamble here. Um, but we'll see what happens. If I'm soloing a mobile defense of an Archon mission by myself, I'm gonna need good CC range. Basically, to do anything or any mission in this game and defeat any mission in this game on solo, then that means that build is a good build if you could defeat any mission in this game on solo. So when you play with other people on co-op, then you never have to worry about switching over to a different build unless you really want something different. So range and more strength is what I need. Transit 42 with lower duration, which I probably don't need, and Arcane Intensify, and yeah, I'm really pushing it here, but let's see how this works. Natural talent should have been the choice. 128, I believe 128 is enough. Not for 130 enemies. Just like Ratum, he couldn't suck any of those enemies under, and they were just level 85 enemies. So we'll see how this goes. If it goes well, then this build is fine. If not, then I might have to tweak it.
The fastest way to locate Pazul's Archons is to upload me to Narmer's systems. I shall be strong where he was not.
Oh, damn. Okay, wait, let me get out of here. I don't have Prime Flow on. I just realized that. That's no good. That's no good. If I'm the only person in mission trying to crowd control everyone, I'm going to need a whole lot more power than I have right now. I have to have Prime Flow on. Which means one of the strength abilities have to go. I have to survive, but I have to have Prime Flow on. Yeah, I might have to get rid of this. And can I put maximum slot? Yeah, I have to throw anything in here. At seven capacity slides not going to do anything. So, but damn. Duration. If I kill him fast enough. Efficiency. I think I could deal with 100 if I could cast a lot. I could deal with the duration of 100 if I could cast a lot. We'll see. Because in Warframe you don't have to have a high amount of duration if the character you're using can kill the enemy fast enough before your powers wear off. So if I could kill an enemy fast enough, I don't have to worry about casting multiple times before they get to the mobile defense target or damage it enough.
The fastest way to locate Pazul's Archons is to upload me to Narmer's systems. I shall be strong where he was not.
Yeah, no good. They're too close to the target, and he takes way too much damage being too close to the target. His tentacle range, even at 145, is not enough, and he doesn't have enough tentacle to keep at bay in a circle the enemy from entering. That's the problem with Hydroid. They're tentacles from enemies, which means there are holes within his um, his defenses. But if he goes down before the target goes down, then that build is no good. Um, so let's try something else. He can't go down before. So even with Rolling Guard and this on and that on, he went down. Um, okay, so I think I know what I'll do. Substitute damage, convert damage into energy. Um, resist adaptation. Let's check out one of his powers. No, I might need more health. The range doesn't do much of anything. Um, well, actually, the range does do something. Keeping it at 145 is good. Let's see. Fast deflect. If I'm going to go with fast deflect, then I definitely have to throw on fortitude. Because if I roll, that might be a good idea. When I'm rolling and rolling guard triggers, might give me enough time for fast deflect to fully charge. Fortitude as well. No. Yeah. So 90% shield recharge, 80% shield recharge. And was where was it? Knockdown resistance, not interested in that. Alright, so I'm going to try with fortitude and with fast deflect. Because what it is, they kill me fast with the bullets because the shield don't recharge fast enough. But this dude isn't shield gating at 100 shields, so I might need these two first. We'll see how this one does. If this one doesn't work, then I'm definitely gonna try just one more, and then I'm gonna call it a day, and then jump back on Dead Island 2 around 1 o'clock. I just want to get one more hour of Dead Island 2. But I was very interested in what was going on in that game. See how that game plays out.
fastest way to locate Pazul's Archons is to upload me to Narmer's systems. I shall be strong where he was not.
I even have this shade sentry or sentinel with me, so for situations like this. If I just want to slide by enemies before I get to the target, makes it easier.
Here. Move on.
Shit. No good. No good. It got farther than the last one. It got farther than the last one, but still no good. Just a slight bit of increasing your recharge speed to your shields helps you. But what was no good is that casting ability takes too long. That's why natural talent is important. The time it took for him to put up his hand and cast his ability was way too long. Shield recharge is important, but casting the abilities fast enough is far more important. So I think that's the mistake in what I was doing. So let's see, one more, one last try. Let's see, shield recharge 90%, 80%. All right, so I'm gonna go with just one, and I'm gonna go with natural talent this time, just to speed up the casting of the abilities. I wonder if I have. Actually, I was thinking about it. So actually, no. I'll leave it. I'll leave it here. I'll leave it here. I'll leave it here, and tomorrow I'll test. I'll test out something else on them, and I'll see if that works. If that works, then that's fine. So I'll put natural talent and shield recharge on. He should be able to finish the second one. If not, he could only make it to the second one. Yeah, his kit needs to be reworked. It really does. Because the time for his shield to recharge is too long against those enemies. But to be honest with you, Archon missions aren't meant for you to solo unless you're a tanky boy. And he's not a tanky boy. Or you're a straight out beast killer like Sarn. You could just kill enemies by just hiding behind a wall if your strength to it is beyond a certain level. So he's neither a DPS, nor is he a good crowd control. I would say he's about average crowd control, and he's not a good DPS. So the only thing he's good at, I would say, about average missions. So enemies are beyond level 100 will always be a struggle for him. It also depends on the weapon you're using as well, how fast the weapon works, how fast you're moving, how much you're sliding around, how much you're using your items. Since you can't use specters in the mission, you have to solely depend on your shields, your health, and your energy. And you have to move around a lot. You can't stay in one place, because the enemy's bullets are going to fly all about the place. So I guess if you stay in operator mode and invisible, you don't take damage, but your Warframe is still getting shot up even though you're in operator invisible mode. That's why I say the second ability is pretty badass. You keep enemies away, all of them away. The second and the fourth ability is about the only thing that's good. I'm just trying to buy time here for this dude. Come on, what are you doing? Yeah, it's no good. The time it takes for you to try to kill them, the time it takes, or maybe I wasn't killing them fast enough. Let me just try it one more time. I think I wasn't killing them fast enough. That's the main issue. It's not just to keep them at bay, it's to kill them fast enough as well. I'll try this one more time. Same thing, but actually no. I'll change up the weapons. I'll change the primary weapon to something much faster. So let's see. I mean, he's a good Warframe, but he has issues. I'll try to kill faster, as fast as I possibly can. But I have to always remember, I must be concerned with my health first. If I can't survive long enough, then obviously the object is going to be destroyed.
The fastest way to locate Pazul's Archons is to upload me to Narmer's systems. I shall be strong where he was not.
No good. No goddamn good. Fuck, man. Freaking Hydroid, dude. Like, Archons are no joke, man. They're no joke. And you only get one chance. One chance. No revives. If you're by yourself, you get no revives. That's how you truly test if a Warframe is strong or not. Do a mission where you don't get any revives and test that mission, test the different mods for that mission over and over and over again. If you're able to complete just one Archon mission by yourself on solo, then that means that build is good. This build for Hydroid isn't good. I know he could survive, but the build he has on isn't good. So this isn't good. Natural talent is important. Intensify is important because his tentacles cannot pull enemies under, and his first abilities cannot do anything, and his second or without strength. So he needs a certain amount of strength. Prime flow is necessary so you can cast multiple times. Rolling guard is necessary so you could get that 3 to 4 seconds of immortality so you could recharge shields and get a little bit of health in time, or just to reload your weapon. And he needs a lot of his armor. He will always need more armor. So the issue I'm having is what should be replaced. If I remove this, then it has to be something that's going to be in its place. Adaptation, maybe, in order to resist that type of effect. Maybe that's better than having more armor. And then something will have to go here in order for him to survive. Because it's not just about him surviving. He has to keep the mobile defense target alive as well, by making sure the enemies are repelled. And he can only repel the enemies and keep them at bay if he has enough energy to repel them and keep them at bay while he's killing them at the same time, and making sure he's not dying. So he needs that. He doesn't necessarily need range of 100, but he needs to have enough resistance to kill enemies and to keep the target alive. So he needs more resistance. Maybe adaptation and maybe both of these are necessary. And then you put vitality here. Maybe both of these are necessary. And then maybe you don't even need that. You could just have that. So I'll have to test this. I'll definitely have to work hard on Hydroid. Because he's one of those Warframes that his CCs aren't good. His CCs are not good. I would say the best of his entire CC kit is his second ability. That's simply to knock enemies away and keep them at a distance so that they can run back at the target. So anytime they get too close, he knock them away so they have to come back at the target. And his fourth ability, anyone is at the target, he keeps them flopped up in the air. But beyond that, bullets, he can't push bullets away, and he can't stop bullets with tentacles. So if the bullets and the bombs do damage towards the target, simply because you are not able to kill the enemies fast enough, they have to rework his kit. He's just too weak. He's weak for Archons. Not because he can't survive, because he won't be able to keep the target alive. So I gotta rethink Hydroid. His build needs to be tested, so I gotta call it a day on Hydroid and get back to Dead Island. So I'll probably eat something, drink something, and then do about 1 hour of Dead Island. Continue that. I'm very fascinated with what's going on in Dead Island 2. It's been like 10 years since the original game came out. 10 years. So I'm really hyped for that game. 10 years. So I'm really, really hyped for that game. So it better not suck towards the end. So that's it.